All right. Hello, everybody. We're starting a little bit behind schedule today because we had the promotion ceremonies of our police department. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. I'm your mayor, Chris Villa. Welcome to the City Commission meeting of September 24th, 2024. I call this meeting to order. Val, please call the roll.
Commissioner Penny,
Here.
Commissioner Curry,
Here.
Commissioner Danio,
Here.
Commissioner Johnson,
Here.
Mayor Villa.
Here. And at this time, I'll ask you all to please stand for the invocation led by Commissioner Curry and continue standing afterwards for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for the many blessings you have provided each of us. We ask for your guidance and wisdom as we conduct the business of our city. We also ask you to place a hedge of protection over not only our city, Lord, but also our employees as we wait the effects of this impending storm that bears down on our state. Lord, keep all of us safe in your arms. This I pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Curry. Yes, sir. All right. So now we're going to move to our public hearings. We have the budget and millage rate for second hearings. Number one is Resolution 2024-R-65, public hearing for second reading. Mr. Simpson.
Resolution number 2024-R-65, by title only for final reading. I'm going to read this resolution in full. And this is by title only, it should be read by full. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Volusia County, Florida, adopting the final levying of ad valorem taxes for the City of Holly Hill for the fiscal year 2024-2025, providing for severability and providing for an effective date. Whereas the City of Holly Hill, Volusia County, Florida, on September 9, 2024, adopted the fiscal year 2024-2025 tentative millage rate following a public hearing as required by Florida statutes 200.065. Whereas the City of Holly Hill, Volusia County, Florida, on September 24, 2024, adopted a final year 2024-2025 final millage rate following a public hearing as required by Florida statutes 200.065. Whereas the City of Holly Hill, Volusia County, Florida, held a public hearing as required by Florida statute 200.065. Whereas the gross taxable value for operating purposes not exempt from taxation in Volusia County has been certified by the county property appraiser to the City of Holly Hill as $819,576,175. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida. Section 1. The fiscal year 2024-2025 final operating millage of 5.8 mils, which is greater than the rollback rate of 5.4151 mils by 7.11%. Section 2. The final public hearing was held on September 24th, 2024 at 6 p.m. And I'll not read the remainder of the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Are there any questions for staff from the commission? Seeing none, I will open up public comment at this time. If anyone would like to speak on this item, please raise your hand and you can come forward. Just state your name and address for the record and you will have 5 minutes to speak. Would anybody like to speak tonight? All right. Seeing none, I'll close public comments on this and I will open the floor for a motion.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Curry, a second from Commissioner Danio. Is there any discussion needed? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Opposed. The motion carries 4-1. Now moving to number 2, which is Resolution 2024-R-66, public hearing, second reading. Mr. Simpson.
Resolution number 2024-R-66, by title only for second final reading. Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Volusia County, Florida, adopting the final budget for the City of Holly Hill for the fiscal year 2024-2025, providing for severability and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Mr. Forte, do you have anything to add or any updates?
There's been no changes since the last public hearing on this, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for staff from the commission? Seeing none, we'll open up the floor to the public. Would anybody like to speak on this item tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public comments, and I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Johnson, a second from Vice Mayor Penny. Any discussion needed? Just want to say thank you to you and your staff for working so hard on this, and to our finance team, thank you, Mrs. Moore, for working so hard on this, and it's a good budget coming in. The last budget I get to be involved with, and very proud of all the work that you, your team, and this commission, and all of us have done over the years to put us in a good financial position. So thank you very much. Just wanted to say that before the vote.
You're very welcome, and Mayor, we thank you and the commission for your leadership and giving us the ability to do the things that allow us to do what we need for this city. So I thank you, the commission, as well.
Thank you, Mr. Forte. All right, with that, is there any further comment? We'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the motion carries unanimously. Now we're going to move to presentations, and one thing that's not on our presentation tonight, I'm going to ask the chief to come up. We have someone to introduce to the public, so Chief, if you could come to the podium.
Thank you, Mr.
And the
Mayor.
floor is yours.
Commission, thank you very much. I'm here tonight. I'm very excited and ecstatic to introduce a new captain of Holly Hill Police Department. Name is Kenneth Ward. You want to step up for me, Kenneth? Kenneth comes from the state of New York, working as the captain in the New York State Patrol. He held many positions there, but I don't want to say too much in the wrong way, so I will let him kind of give a brief history of who he is and what he's about. So I'm very excited for him.
Thank you, Chief. Captain,
Hi, good evening, everyone.
good evening.
Yes, I began my career as a municipal police officer, a very small police department in my hometown, one traffic light. So I'm very accustomed to small communities. From there, I became a member of the New York State Police. New York State Police are a full-service police agency, basically operating in everywhere throughout the state, including New York City. And I've held a variety of positions, everything from uniform trooper, sergeant. I was a lieutenant in investigations, intelligence, counterterrorism. I have a lot of great experiences. So I interviewed, and I was happy to accept the position here. And the chief and I are aligned in many of our values, so I think it's going to be a good setup. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Captain. If you could put your hands together for our new captain. I just have to say, Captain, thank you for coming to our community. Welcome to the team, and Chief, great choice here, and to the public, the caliber of talent that is coming into this police force, and the things that the Chief has planned, as well as the commission, I think are really going to take us to the next level and make our community safer, and to restore all the trust that needs to be built into this agency forever and ever and ever. So thank you both for what you're doing. It's a tall task ahead, and I trust that you're going to do your best, and we'll be supportive of you. Would anybody else like to make a comment?
I'd just like to say real quick, Mayor, you have a very impressive resume. You didn't say everything that you've done, but it was very impressive. And from somebody with prior law enforcement, I'm pleased that the chief chose you. So welcome to our community.
Well said. All right, so thank you very much, and welcome to our city. With that, we're going to move to our next presentation. This is the Economic Development Update. Mr. Forte.
Actually, Mayor, we're going to turn the presentation over to John Cox. This will be John's first and last presentation to the City Commission on the status of some economic projects throughout the city. And if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to stop. We don't have to wait till the end, but feel free to stop, and either John, myself, or Brian will try to answer any questions you may have.
Great. John, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, commissioners-elect. It's a real privilege for me to be here tonight to talk about these projects. Val and I haven't practiced this, but I think we're going to be able to do it. So you go to the next slide, please. I think there are about 18. You should be very familiar with a lot of them, especially this one. This is the RV resort. It's called Lake Bell. It's on Flomage. You can see the work taking place out there right now. It's a $9.4 million capital investment, promising 4 to 6 jobs. Any city would like to have this project, and it's a great find for the city of Holly Hill, and especially because of the way that you can maximize the partnership with Pictona and other things in the city. So congratulations, a great project. Next slide. This is just an article that was in one of the papers talking about it, and we'll get this presentation to you if you want to take a look at it, or just reread articles that you've probably already read. Thank you. Next slide. This is the Monticelli Warehouse. It's on State Avenue. If you've been over there, you know that at one end there's a building, and at the far end there's a building, and in between is where there is some work going on right now for two proposed 14,000 square foot buildings. Some site clearing is underway, and I think since I took that picture, a little bit more has taken place. And one thing that you know, if you build buildings like this, meaning they're not especially large, but the 14,000 foot building, 10,000 foot building, you break them down into units of 2,000, 2,500, and they just seem to fill out. So it's a great project. Next slide, please. Bentley Oaks is 471 3rd Street. Now, an interesting thing about this is that it's been through the process and is zoned for 4 quadplexes. This project has been here a long time. There's some stubbing that you can see. There's some, I don't know, curb and guttering is not the right word, but it's old and is, in my opinion, already in need of repair. If you call the sign, the people that you speak to will tell you that that property today is for sale for $785,000. There's no work going on that slide, that project at this time. That's the curb and guttering I was talking about. Yeah, this to me is a transformational project in the city of Holly Hill. If you had a good economic development manager, he would probably tell you the city ought to take advantage of CRA funding and buy this property. It's at the Four Corners, at the main intersection. It's LPGA, it's Ridgewood, and so much really could be done there that would benefit the citizens of Holly Hill and the traveling public that comes to Holly Hill for whatever we're doing, like our community concerts or like the tournament that's taking place at Pictona this week with 900 or so folks who are enrolled. That would be an awesome opportunity for community development. And I put the logo in the upper right-hand corner just to signify that this is one of the properties that is actually in the CRA. Please. Well, one more thing I'll tell you about that slide. Back up one, thanks. I spoke to the developer from Hutton. Hutton is the corporation that's taking a look at this, and they've kind of come to it and backed off from it. But the email correspondence I had with the developer, she told me on Monday that they're back at the table and trying to see if they can make a deal work. So I take that as a great positive. Next slide. Yeah, 975 Gulf Avenue. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It comes off of Nova, winds back down around toward the Riviera Golf Course. And this is a storage unit, 61,000 square feet. Some site work is completed, but there's not a whole lot that's going on there. And you see the red dot in the bottom right-hand corner. I put that there on slides where it just appears to me to be inactive. Now, we could have more information, our permit office, our community development office, that could tell you that, well, they've done this or they've done that, but it's just kind of inactive at this point. Next slide. Yeah, Parquet Avenue, what a great project. Started maybe 2 years ago. They've built 4 13,000 square foot buildings. It's kind of a build to suit. There's one remaining pad available. And again, a great thing about this concept is while I was very excited about 13,000 square foot buildings because you could put larger companies in those, they have made the units kind of a build to suit. So they're smaller units, but they're filling up. And I put Aerosapient Technologies logo in the upper left-hand corner because I think that company has taken at least 1.5 buildings out there, and they have got, I mean, it's Holly Hill's connection to a space coast and aerospace technologies and all the things. Think Embry-Riddle students. Think great things that can take place in Holly Hill on Parquet Avenue. Next slide. Parquet Business Park, it's really what I've already told you. Next slide. Yeah, the Mirage, I think, is the second phase of an earlier development called the Mirage. This is at 1609 Prime Court. In that part of the development, no permits are approved for the proposed 68 1,800 square foot townhomes, but plat work has begun. Next slide. The Vineyards, that is well underway. Curb and guttering, swimming pool there, a clubhouse, and I think 4, maybe 8 units are actually completed and ready to be inhabited. That's from propaganda, what I call it, but it shows you the full layout at full development and tells you a little bit more about it. Great opportunity for Holly Hill to have that kind of housing. Then at 1885 North Nova, this is Flomich at Nova. You may remember there was an ice cream facility there some time ago, which is long gone now, and there was a discussion about, I think, Penguin Car Wash. That proposal has gone away. So you see the red dot in the bottom right-hand corner. The interesting thing about this property is it's at a major intersection. It's only 27,000 square feet, but right behind it is another 27,000 square feet. So now you're looking at a full acre. This property is owned by a corporation that is registered in Marietta, Georgia. And I don't know what you could do with respect to assembling additional property here, but think Longhorn, think Outback, think that kind of a restaurant, which would be a benefit for the citizens of Holly Hill. Yep, Anastasia Court, this is a proposed 17 townhomes. I called the sign, I love to do this, even though a project is going through the process, because I call it, and I use my cell phone, which has a non-Holly Hill, non-Florida number, so they think they're talking to a developer from some other state or somewhere. And so I start to ask them questions. Well, this property is actually still for sale. And they will tell you all about it if you call it. That's why there's a red dot in the bottom right-hand corner. I think their hope is to buy the property, and this is not unusual in this day, to buy the property and then maybe take it through planning and zoning and then flip it just as quick as they can and make a fast buck on the zoning. Yep, Zen Living Apartments. I think this is one of the earlier renderings. This is, I have to orient myself, right down Ridgewood. This has been in the process for a long time. It's a PUD located on 3rd Street in Ridgewood. You see the red dot there. They're still working through a number of things. I think they have come back to the city, to Mr. Walker and his team, and proposed some other things, and it's just in stasis. But again, there's the CRA logo in the upper right. It is in the CRA. Great piece of property. Devon Self-Storage. This was the finest available property in Holly Hill a few years ago. It was built in 1959. It's almost 100,000 square feet. You know what it served for FHCP. And we actually turned that site in on a couple of project requests for people who were looking for 100,000 square feet of space. We weren't able to put a company in there, but this company, Devon Storage, maybe out of Chicago, maybe the parent company is out of there. You see the work that they're doing, and Section A is complete, will be completed in October, and Section B on the right-hand side of the slide is scheduled to be done. The entire project is scheduled to be done in December. Yep, MG Cafe, and these pictures are much improved over where the project started, but they're nothing like the pictures that you would see if you would go there today, because it's stunning what they have done, not only with the landscaping. This is right in front of MG Marina Grand. It's the retail space that's on the ground level, And if you face it, it's the unit on the end. And this MG Cafe is now underway. We actually did a sign grant for it. They complied, and if you just go out there and take a look at it, it's absolutely beautiful. And we'll keep in style with Marina Grand and be an asset. When you come into Holly Hill, I mean, from that part of town, that's the city's entryway, and that just makes it look better. Next slide. So Mason Avenue at Daytona, this is 148 Mason. That might not be the exact right address, but this, to me, is an incredible piece of property. Also at the gateway to the city of Holly Hill. Right now, it is a planned development of 97,500 square feet self-storage, 3 stories, 32,500 square feet for in process at this time. People got a lot of stuff, and they got to have a lot of places to put it, and they want to put it in Holly Hill, evidently. And I'm not sure if this is Braintree or Braintree, 1 word, 2 words, but right now, if you drive by there, it's just fenced off, and really all you can do is look over the top of it. It's by the, Joe, is that Aloha Boats?
It's Aloha Marine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thanks. So these would be 840 units, 3 stories, 120,000 square feet. The original owner has sold and waiting on transfer title to new owner, per the gentleman that I spoke with. And again, keep in mind, these things really can change every day. So a new fact, a new circumstance, a new player, this is the information as I had it as of that day. Yep, Fox Point Apartments. This is on Cross Nova, 10th Street. This was an article that was in a paper, I don't know, back several months ago, about funding that was used for so-called affordable housing, including Holly Hill, 70-unit complex. So you can drill down on that if you like, but right now it's wooded. Alabama Storage is at 990 Alabama Avenue, 2.405 acres, proposed use 36,000, almost 37,000 square feet, self-storage with additional paving of over 33,000 feet. So again, I think they're asking for a special exemption, and a meeting with the contractors pending may have actually taken place since I put this slide together. Yep, Tiki Villas, 30-unit multifamily complex with associated signage, landscaping, irrigation, paving, drainage, utilities. Looks like it's ready to go. The site plan is under review. Heavenly Cheesecakes has sold to a company that wants to do a concept, a wings concept. I think a term they're using, or the name they're using, is Brave the Crave. They have a lot of hope for that property, including maybe a drive-through there. So you're going to need architectural renderings, and that piece is very narrow, and trying to work that out is going to be a tough thing, but they're pretty excited about it. So I think they're going to be a great stop in Holly Hill when that thing gets open. Yeah, 403 10th Street. These are kind of interesting. 2 parcels totaling 5 acres. They're along the railroad. That's one of the things that makes it interesting. And I think there are some site issues that have to be worked through. And I think the developer, again, I could be wrong, but I think they want to sell the property to an end user and make the end user then responsible for the site work that needs to be done. Not uncommon. Yeah, so this is Bonarigo, is that correct? Bonarigo Business Park. I think they were in just the other day talking with Mr. Walker. 1.23 acres entitled for 12,000 square foot building, permitted and ready to build. Beautiful looking site, and that may be the last one. Yeah, I just threw that up there for fun. We'll send that to you later. I think that's all.
Great, thank you, Mr. Cox, we
Welcome.
appreciate it.
Very
And
welcome.
thank you for your service to our city as well. For those that don't know, Mr. Cox is going to another city, but we appreciate all your hard work for us, and thanks for putting this together for us as a last hurrah. And we know we're going to keep you along a little bit for some of the concerts we'll be hosting, so we appreciate that. So
Very welcome.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Now we're going to move to our public comments. This is the audience's opportunity to address the city commission about anything not on our agenda tonight. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to the commission about anything not on our agenda? Just raise your hand. Yes, sir. And just come on up, state your name, and you'll have 5 minutes.
Well, my name is Jason Weiss. I'm a sergeant for the city of Holly Hill. And I wasn't able to make the last commission meeting because I was on duty, but I wanted to thank you guys for the raises you gave us and the contract. Obviously, we came a long way through this last year. We got great hope with our new chief and new captain. And I just wanted to thank you guys for all you did and the support you gave us. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience? Yes, sir. Once you get up there, just state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes.
My name is Gabriel Varga. My home address is 1226 Gamble Place, Daytona Beach, Florida. Pastor of the Ridgewood Avenue Baptist Church and the Daytona Rescue Mission, 501 Ridgewood Avenue, Holly Hill. My concerns are the lack of prosecution of the chief of police, captain, and other officials from the police department. There have been a tremendous amount of evidence brought forward of felony crimes committed, and the city has done nothing to act upon it with the state's attorney's office. I'll give you a personal example of you saying, the state's attorney's office told me that you have to bring charges. Let me tell you something of personal experience. 2007, I had just taken over. Our mission was at 425 Ridgewood Avenue. I took over as pastor at 501 Ridgewood Avenue. My wife got a piece of metal in her eye. Emergency situation. I was in Palm Coast at a specialist to have it removed. I had it removed. I got a call from a Holly Hill police officer. And I told him the situation I was in, and he said that the Holly Hill Police wanted me to immediately meet with them. It was very important at the state's attorney's office. I told them of my wife's condition. They had removed it. Her eyes were dilated, and she was in pain. I thought it was important, so I responded. I'd worked with policing for many, many years. We got there, and my wife just really a difficult situation. We sat down, and being very aware of police procedures, I was immediately aware that they were trying to bring charges against us. And I put the papers back in my briefcase, and I says, any other talking that you'll be doing will be to my attorney. And I got up from the table, started walking out. Sergeant Joseph Borelli from the Holly Hill Police Department said, lock them all up. Lock them all up. My wife, she's in pain, she's in agony. She says, what are they talking about? And she started bawling like a baby. We got into the elevator, And she says, honey, they're going to lock us up. I says, that fat cop can't lock you up, because I know what police he was, and I know you got to have a reason to lock somebody up. You got plenty of reason to lock a bunch of people up. Work on it. So here, innocent pastor and his wife, and she bawled all night. I come the next day down here, demanded to talk to Borelli and whoever he reported to. Forte come out, and no one from the police department, no police chief, no lieutenant, no captain, just Forte. They had a guy there from the state's attorney's office. He was nice. Forte never said anything about Borelli's conduct or just stonewall. The guy from state's attorney said he's sorry that it happened. They're trying to convict this preacher and his wife. God help them. And now you've got piles of evidence against predators that have innocent victims, unprotected by you folks. All I got to do is say, shame on you. Shame on you. Prosecute them.
Thank you, Mr. Varga. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak to the City Commission about anything not on our agenda tonight? Yes, ma'am. Just come on up, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes.
So I'll make it quick. My name is Julia Williams, and I live at 1439 Center Avenue. I've been here before in front of the board in reference to the issue with the drainage in front of my home. And now I've made several calls to the city to try to speak to someone because my sidewalk is now cracking. No one has been out to do anything with the drainage, and when we have a storm or anything of heavy rain, it's stagnant water there for several days. So those are my concerns, just this pond that has this drainage, and now my sidewalk is cracking. And I need someone to come out and look at it. I've called City Hall several times, left messages. No one has been out yet.
I'm sorry you didn't get a response. If you could, get Mr. Forte's card afterwards and get in touch with her, Mr. Forte, about her concerns, please.
He's came out before to address my concerns.
Did you say Center Street?
Yes, sir.
Center Street, okay. So if you could get with him and staff, we'll make sure that your questions are addressed.
Okay, thank you.
I can't promise you we can fix it overnight, but it's good for us to know the problems
I just
as
want
well.
some attention.
Yes, ma'am, I understand. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak to the City Commission about anything not on our agenda tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public participation, and we're going to move on from public comments. We're going to go to the approval of the minutes. We have the minutes from the September 9th, 2024 regular City Commission meeting and first public hearing on budget fiscal year 2024-2025. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the minutes from Commissioner Curry and a second from Commissioner Danio. Would anybody like to speak on the minutes tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public comment on the minutes, and we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Now we're going to move to our consent agenda, items 1 through 7. Would a city commissioner like to remove any item on the consent agenda? Okay. This action is stated for each item on the consent agenda. Unless a city commissioner removes an item from the consent agenda, no discussion on individual items will occur, and a single motion will approve all items. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak on any item on the consent agenda tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public participation. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda from Commissioner Curry and a second from Commissioner Johnson. No discussion is needed. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Now we're going to move to number 7, which is our regular agenda. And on the regular agenda, number 1 is Resolution 2024-R-70. Mr. Simpson.
Resolution number 2024-R-70, by title only for first and only reading. Resolution of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, ratifying a 3-year agreement with the Professional Firefighters of Holly Hill Local 3470, IAFF, October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2027, providing for severability, providing for conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Mr. Forte.
Yeah, Mayor, so the city staff and the union met to negotiate this contract over a period of several months. The changes that were made to the contract were very small and simple. In Article 18, it provides for a wage increase for all bargaining unit members in the amount of 5% for the fiscal years 24, 25, and 26. It's a 3-year agreement. It also provides for an increase to the paramedic pay in the amount of from $4,805 to $6,500 in year 1, $7,500 in year 2. And the minimum and maximum of the pay grade is proposed to increase by 2.5% in each year. Article 30 and 31 reference the rules and regulations that the City Commission had approved back in May, and they've been incorporated into the contract. And Article 33 is for employees hired after October 1, 2024, that the vesting period will be 8 years instead of 6 years. Those are all the changes to this contract. Members of the fire department are not here. They're just finishing up a structure fire actually on your street. So they're a bit occupied right now.
I heard,
I guess that's excusable.
Yeah, they're fighting a fire. It doesn't happen often.
I would say.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Forte. I
You're
appreciate it. Are there any questions for staff at this time? Okay, with that, we'll open this up to the public. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this item tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public participation. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Johnson, a second from Commissioner Curry. Discussion? I just got to say thank you again, Mr. Forte. In all of the negotiations over the years, this one has proved to be the longest, and we had to have more meetings about these over and over. And, you know, for the public listening, obviously the economy is out of control in some ways, and so jobs, what they're worth is going up, and meanwhile we're trying to keep our expenses low here in the city, and there's a balance to make sure that our first responders are paid well and fairly, and I just have to say that you've done a good job, Mr. Forte, and all along our goal was to pay them the absolute most that we can because we depend on them, and tonight's a perfect example of a house fire, and they're there protecting that citizen. So thank you very much to you and your team and to this commission for all the patience that you have shown during the process. So just had to say that, Mr. Forte. Any further comments? All right, with that being said, we'll go ahead and take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion carries 5-0.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I know you're going to introduce the next 3 agenda items, but I want to see if you'll go out of order and allow the YMCA item to come forward first. This way they
Is there
can
any
be
objection to letting the YMCA move up?
No.
All right. So we are going to jump to number 5 on our agenda. Is it number 5? Yeah, number 5 on our agenda tonight, which is Resolution 2024-R-74. Mr. Simpson.
Resolution
You can
number
come up.
2024-R-74 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, authorizing the city manager to sign a 1-year lease agreement extension between the city and the Volusia Flagler YMCA, establishing the terms of the agreement, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Mr. Forte, would you like to introduce our guest for the presentation?
Sure. Maybe we've been having 1-year contracts with the YMCA for the past several years, and we really wanted to try to have a multi-year contract. So you and I met with Chris Shielkop, the executive director, and Charlie Leidecker and Troy Railsback, and had a conversation about what the expectations were from both sides, our side and their side. And during that conversation, there were things said that we didn't know. So I thought that it would be appropriate that we would have a presentation for a representative from the YMCA to come and give us an update on what the Y does for our community. Katie is here to do that presentation, and once she's done with that, if we have any questions, we'll go ahead and ask them, and then talk about the contract extension.
Great, thank you very much. The floor is yours. Just quickly introduce yourself, and then you can go into your presentation.
Absolutely, thank you. Thank you, Mayor and Commission, for having me. I'm Katie Lyle, Chief Operations Officer for Volusia Flagler YMCA. So I oversee the operations of all 7 of our YMCAs here in Volusia County. I have a team on site, so Tara, who's behind me, oversees directly Holly Hill. So some of you are familiar with Tara, she does a great job. If there's any specific questions about programming, she's our girl. So I'm going to give you kind of an overall view of what we do. Holly Hill branch has really grown. I always welcome an opportunity to talk about our Ys because there's a lot of great things going on inside those walls. And Joe's right, we don't always share that with the community. So I'm excited to do that today, and I'm only going to take a minute. Real quick, I want to talk about membership and what that looks like. So you'll see the number 1398, those are active units. I want to make sure you understand the difference between an active unit and a person. A unit is a membership type sold. So Holly Hill sells about 6 different types of memberships. That could be an individual, or it could be a family of 4 or 5. A unit is a membership type sold, but not the people using our facility. So a general rule of thumb is look at the units and double it-ish. And that's how many people are in that branch. So Holly Hill sees, on average, 3,000 or so people, kids, families, seniors coming in and out of their doors using that facility, not 1,300. That's how many units we have. A little bit of a breakdown there. You can see the active youth members, 0 to 17. And then, of course, the vast majority of the members at Holly Hill are active seniors. So those are individual units that sell just one membership. And inside of that one membership is usually one person. And those are individuals. And we have almost 900 of those at Holly Hill. Annual campaign, right? This is the part that I am most passionate about. This is the part that sets us apart. We are a YMCA, first and foremost, which means we also have a fitness center, like your Planet Fitness and your Golds and all those other great gyms around. But annual campaign is what makes us different. So we raise money every year. It's not state funded or grant funded or any of those great things. It is strictly from community funds. We raise those dollars to give back in scholarships for anybody that needs them at the Y. So membership
Can you
programming.
pause 1 second? Just let me.
Of course.
Our firefighters just walked in the room. Thank you very much. We know where you were, and we did just pass the resolution that we had in terms of your contract. So if you have better things to do, feel free to go and do that, but you're also welcome here as well. So.
Right now, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And thank you for taking care of the fire. So we gave you a pass. You're good. All right, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to let them know.
Yeah, of course.
You can continue.
Thank you. So annual campaign is where we give out scholarships to anybody that needs it. So if somebody comes to the YMCA and says, I'd like to put my children in camp or learn to swim, but I can't afford that cost, we say, no problem, we're here to help. So this year, the Holly Hill branch raised $25,000. And before the end of that year, they will be giving all of that out across the counter right here at the Holly Hill branch. Those dollars don't go to any other facility. As an association, we raise about $400,000. 25 of that is right here in Holly Hill. So Tara and her team will get paperwork from anybody that needs a scholarship and be able to give those dollars out. You're going to see in the next slide or so that about 50% of our after-school program children are all on scholarship here in Holly Hill. So aquatics programs have really grown this year. We're excited about that. Youth swim lessons, we were able to do $5 swim lessons through a grant that our entire community was able to use. And so Tara and her team were able to issue swim lessons through that grant. And then, of course, our scholarships. Youth Swim League was new this year. So if you haven't been to a Youth Swim League meet, I encourage it. Go Manatees. That is the name of the Holly Hill swim team. Really fun to see every Saturday. They get to compete with all of the other branches in the summer that have a swim team. Holly Hill did great. You can see them in their orange shirts down there and holding up their ribbons. So we're very, very proud of them. And then, of course, adult swim lessons. We see a lot of times the generational swim gap, where we have children who come to the pool because parents and grandparents also can't swim. So Tara and her aquatics team decided we start at the top and let's work our way back down. So if you've been around Tara long enough, you'll know that her heart is in the water. And so when she gets a child that can't swim, she's always looking at mom or dad or grandma and saying, but can you? And then she gets them in the water next. And so adult swim lessons have also taken off here in Holly Hill. Of course, sports has really exploded. These are real live pictures of inside of your basketball court and soccer fields and all of the things we do here. A lot of the Ormond sports moved down to Holly Hill. You guys know that when we started the renovations in Ormond, and they have taken off. So youth volleyball was very successful this year. We did a free clinic Had 58 children come through that, so they didn't have to pay to participate. Youth basketball is one of the biggest here in Holly Hill than we have at any of the other facilities, over 200 kids. So on any given Saturday during basketball season, you can hear the chaos from the parking lot, the whistles and the yelling and the parents, and the youth basketball is a very passionate program, very, very passionate program. Lots of kids participate in that. And then, of course, youth and adult soccer. So now we offer soccer for adults who want to get back in and play. And that's also been very popular. You can see that we had 170 participants for the youth, and then about 33, which is a good start for adults. And then childcare. Overall, as a YMCA, it's our largest program. It's our largest scholarship program, and it's our largest head count program. We run childcare year-round, so of course summer camp, and then after school during the school year. So after school enrichment, you can see they have about 40 children. That number would be larger if we had space and staff. Staffing is an issue across the board, but Tara's constantly on a waiting list, and so this branch has a high need for it. You can see the schools that we currently pick up from. So we have a team that drives around to all of those elementary schools here in town, picks up the kids, brings them back to the branch. They do homework, a little snack, a little playtime. They're only there a couple of hours, and then they get picked up in the afternoon. 52% of our kids on Holly Hill, at the Holly Hill program, are on scholarship. Every other branch runs in about the 20% range. The summer day camp, of course, we had a facility full for summer day camp. If you're over there during those 10 weeks, you can see and hear it. They were on a waiting list then too. So it's space. We're putting everybody in a basketball court. It would be ideal for separate rooms, and can we divide them and all the things, but they did the best they could, keeping little kids away from big kids and vice versa. And then we had a book fair this summer, which was nice, the only branch that had that, and so we were able to put books in front of these kids that may not have otherwise had the opportunity. And then partnerships. Lots of partnerships come in and out of our Holly Hill doors. So Arc of Volusia, of course, our Boys and Girls Club, Brooks Rehab, they're a big one. They bring their kids to our staff to learn how to swim in the pool. We had a corporate board meeting today for the YMCA, and our mission moment for the day was the swim lessons in Holly Hill through Brooks Rehab, and some of the changes this team's been able to make in the water with that group. Easter Seals, Halifax Academy, they bring their kids in and pull weeds, and they help us ref volleyball and basketball games, and they're very, very engaged in what we do. Mainland High swims in our pool. Red Cross does a lot of our trainings, of course, and then T-Rec Camp of Nova is a swap for some soccer space. And then community outreach, you know that we are largely a senior center. We're trying to grow some of the family programming, but this YMCA does a spectacular job at bingo, meet and greet lunches, potlucks, there's Zumbathons. You can't walk in this door and not see a plethora of our seniors gathering and hanging out and spending time together. So there are some images from some of the events we've had through our community outreach as well. And I believe that is it.
Amazing, and the
Thank
impact
you.
you have on the community is so great, so thank you for doing that. And yeah, I want to recognize Tara again. Tara has taught my children to swim, and my 7-year-old daughter is like a fish now because of you. She started when she was like 3 or 4. I got to get her in the swim league, though, so I got to get some
You do.
information, maybe next summer or whatnot. But thank you for everything you
for your
do
time.
and for educating us and the community about this. Are there any questions for Katie? All right, thank you once again. All right. Is there any questions for the staff from the commission?
So, I just want to give you one more update.
We haven't opened public comment yet.
So this is a one-year agreement again, and then Chris Hillcop and I have agreed to work together this year to try to develop a 5-year capital improvement plan for the city of Holly Hill. One of the things just to keep in mind now, you see a lot of work getting done in the Ormond Beach YMCA, and that was a 5-year plan that they started probably 10 or 15 years ago. So 5-year plans don't take 5 years to complete. So this year, hopefully, we'll be able to work on a 5-year plan that next year will come together with a multi-year contract with a 5-year capital improvement plan, discussion about how we're going to fund that, and try to bring the facility from being a good facility for the public to a good-looking facility for the public. So,
Great. Thank you, Mr. Forte. Are there any further questions? All right, with that, we'll open it up to the public. Mr. Varga, you wanted to say something? Yeah. Come on up. Just wait till you get to the microphone, please, so it's all recorded. Thank you, sir. And just state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes.
My name's Gabriel Varga. My home address is 1226 Gamble Place. What you got? I love the YMCA. They call it the Y now. When it started, turn of the century, it was a Young Men's Christian Association. It was for young Christians all over the country to have a place to stay. It's no longer a Christian. They're good, wonderful people. They do a wonderful job, but it's no longer a Christian. It used to be a preaching place. And Billy Sunday used to preach there, D.L. Moody, some of the founders. One of the saddest things I saw here a while back, when Holly Hill tried to throw the YMCA out, that about broke my heart. They had it all signed, sealed, and delivered. Mr. Penny and Mr. Forte, they're the Pictona people. You can make stupid looks all you want, Miss Penny. You ought to be
That's
gracious
Curry,
enough.
Curry, that's Penny.
Well, that's Penny. Oh, you're Penny.
I am
Your name's Penny.
Curry.
Miss Penny. You don't like me miscalled?
Continue, Mr.
All
Varga.
right, listen.
Thank you.
They tried to kick them out. They said, we're going to hire their personnel. You give everything to Pictona. They ride free. You ought to support. They took the sign down. You ought to support YMCA. They're doing the work you don't do. They take care of the kids. You got rid of their ballpark. You got rid of their base. You got rid of the basketball. You now closed down the park over there, Centennial Park. You've closed all the recreation. 25 years this city's been going downhill. Thank God for the YMCA. Look, Pictona's got a free ride. You're their sugar daddy. They're making money and they ain't paying nothing. $6 million and counting. You won't even talk about it. You just mum's the word. Well, a lot of people are disgusted with it. God bless the YMCA. It's a wonderful place. They're doing a wonderful job. Man, that girl works out. Did you see the muscles on her? Hey, Chief, you need to get some of your cops on her program.
All right, yeah,
I
let's
would've
stay on
won arm
topic
wrestling.
here. Mr.
I got
Varga.
5 minutes. Quit bothering me.
Stay on topic. You don't need to be
2 minutes
talking about
and
audience
45
members.
seconds left.
You can address us.
All right, I'll address you, Mr.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, so, giving away the ship, poor, it's heartbreaking. Bobblehead, we'll call her bobblehead Penny.
Address me, Mr. Varga. What would you like
Mayor,
to
we're
say?
addressing the
Oh, I got
YMCA
2 minutes.
contract.
Yes.
I got 2.3 minutes.
Okay, you can address the YMCA contract.
Just have a little decor from your people. You sit there making goofy faces.
All right, sir,
at
you're
me.
wasting
I
your
don't
time.
like
Go ahead.
goofy faces.
Go ahead.
Okay. Got a minute and 48 seconds.
All right, you take it.
So thank God that we have someone that has a recreational program. You people lie about it, and they put up there, they're claiming Ormond Beach's programs. Oh, yeah, over there, got gymnastics and everything.
Does this have to relate to the YMCA
Well,
contract here?
That's what he claimed.
Can you please stay on the YMCA contract?
That's not Holly Hill. I'm talking about recreation, now I'm talking about YMCA. The only recreation we have in this town is YMCA. You people have killed it all. You wiped it out. There's a lot of people really disgusted with it. I wish they'd show up at the meeting. Long pass,
They're all here.
long pass. You need to get some etiquette classes for your people.
Don't worry about them, just worry about yourself,
All
Mr.
right.
Varga.
I'll even give you a couple seconds, 45 seconds left. God bless the YMCA. They're still doing good work. Give them a free ride. Don't charge them any leasing money. Pay the utilities like you do Pictona.
Thank you, Mr. Varga. Thanks for ending it on a positive note. We appreciate that. All right, Mr. Legary, come on up. You have 5 minutes. Just introduce yourself, name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
Jim Legary, 342 Burley. I can confidently say that I am not one of those Christians. I can't understand how someone can repeatedly discourse on God's word when they can't hear it. It's really, really repulsive to sit here and count down your time. You must occupy all of that time.
You have
I
5 minutes too,
particularly
Mr.
find it difficult. I agree with Varga on a couple of subjects. I hate to say that. I think 2-year terms is a great idea. I think people ought to be responsible for what they say and do, unlike what he's doing. The YMCA is doing much, much better. My compliments to them. My compliments to y'all for working it out.
Thank you, Mr. Legary. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak on this item here tonight? All right, seeing none, we will close the colorful public comments. Vice Mayor, you want to say something?
Well, no, let's wait till we have a motion on the floor.
Okay, all right.
I'll make a motion to approve if you'll accept it.
Yes.
I'll second.
We have a motion to approve the contract from Vice Mayor Penny and a second from Commissioner Curry.
Yes.
The floor is yours, Vice Mayor.
I'd just like for the record to correct a couple statements that were absolutely false. The only thing that I heard tonight on this topic that I agree with is God bless the YMCA. I had the honor of being on their executive board for several years, and I've had the privilege to volunteer 15 years, Tara? Every Wednesday night at the YMCA. And it's a fantastic organization. And when the budget crunch hit us 15 years ago, we had to make some hard choices with our recreation department. We partnered with the YMCA, and it's a win-win situation. And the way we partnered with the YMCA is we financially support them. We pay, correct me if I'm wrong, $55,000 a year towards our operating costs. We charge them no rent, and we pay their utilities. That's pretty darn good. Doing a lot. I'm glad we don't do anything for the children in our community. But when it was said that they started as a Christian organization, it kind of was alluded to that they're not a Christian organization anymore. And I have to tell you, every branch of the YMCA I've ever been into, it's kind of a game to find the picture of Jesus in the branch, because it's there. It might not be the same place in every branch, but it's there, and it's proudly displayed. And every meeting, every business discussion is started with prayer, and Katie alluded to it, the mission moment. They talk about something great that was not done by the Y, but done through God. And the Y is the hands and feet of God in our community. And so God bless the YMCA. We have never attempted to throw them out of that facility. We've had some strong negotiations, but that's business. We have to make sure that it's a win-win situation, because we are responsible for the taxpayers' dollars. And when we contribute $100,000 to an organization, we need to make sure our citizens are getting what they deserve. And I'll say something else for the record. God bless Jim Legary for putting that library in there. I don't know how many books he's given away. Thousands, tens of thousands of books. But you go to the YMCA, you need a book, take one. Want to bring it back? Bring it back. If you don't, don't. But Legary stocks that place every month to make sure there's books for those kids to read. The water program that Tara runs over there, I saw a report today. I can't remember the number. But the most dangerous thing that we have in our backyards is our pools. Not the guns in our homes, but the pools. And the number of children that drowned in this state is unconscionable. And I'm proud to be a Kiwanian. We donate money to the Holly Hill Y so kids can learn to swim. So I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I just can't stand to hear people repeat over and over misinformation. And then to close their statement, and I'm not going to steal Mayor Johnson's thunder, but doesn't even know where his city limits are. Reports that we are falsely taking credit for Ormond Beach's successes, which is wrong. So I'll shut up and we'll vote on this, but it just irritates the heck out of me when someone spews misinformation about a great organization like the YMCA and the proud partnership that we have with Holly Hill.
Well said, Vice Mayor.
Hey,
And we
Mayor,
have-
could I just say something?
Well, before we have the person that made the second, she would have to defer to you.
I don't mind if,
All right, she's going to defer to you.
I would
Commissioner
just say that I am just so thankful that the city of Holly Hill takes the lead in having so many great sports places for our kids and of all ages to play in every type of weather. Till recently, we never had that. We had the YMCA, they say basketball, volleyball, different things like that. We have a flight gymnastics, and right away had over 500 members of little kids and with instructors teaching them how to do gymnastics and do such great things. The parking lot's always full. Then you go to the Volusia Sports Center, been in less than a year and a half probably, and just full of kids doing all kinds of weather, playing baseball and that, learning how to play baseball. And this weekend at the tournaments, they proved their point. It's really worthwhile, believe me. And also we have the great Pictona, which very, very seldom does anybody, I've never really heard anybody else say anything bad about it, that the kids play there too. My little grandson played pickleball there all the time. He played $10. He'd go over at $10 and play all day pickleball. You know, he just loved it and all. So many kids do it, so many things for local families. We have 4 great sports facilities in our area that play. I won't say that in Holly Hill anymore because I've been accused of being a liar for that. But we have 4 great facilities in our area that is for the kids of all ages to play in all types of weather and get trained.
And they are in Holly Hill.
And thank you for YMCA.
Yeah, those
sir.
God bless
those
you.
businesses you talked about on Nova Road, those are in the city limits of Holly Hill, aren't they, Mr.
what?
Johnson? Flight gymnastics and Volusia Sports
I'm not
Center.
going to
What city
say,
are
I'm not
those
going
in?
to say they are because I've already been called a liar when I say they are. So I'm gonna say that.
Maybe people need to.
For the record, they are in Holly Hill.
But Brian.
We'll go to Commissioner Curry. You have the floor.
I appreciate it. I was gonna try to just not say anything, but it's almost impossible. And I'll correct you, Commissioner Penny, it's not misinformation, it's out and out lies. And I have personally sent emails to you, 2 in fact, explaining the situation back with the police department and how FDLE handles the investigation, and they go to the state attorney's office, not the city of Holly Hill. And,
Excuse me, please don't blurt out. No public
no,
comment at
you've
this
already
time.
had your time. No, it's my time.
Excuse me. Mr. Varga, please. Okay, we allowed you to speak and we did not speak during your time. This is the commissioner's time to speak. Thank
The
you very much.
YMCA came in here, thank you, to do an awesome presentation. And of course, you have to come up and call everything all lies. And it's not. The people showed you the data. They showed you the pictures of the activities that are taking place over there. And that is why we're meeting on this item, to continue our relationship. So you really need to start getting your facts straight and stop lying about this community. Pictona is city-owned property. It's not a private millionaires club. It is owned by the city and everybody sitting out here.
All right, that's enough. Mr. Varga, I'm warning you now. Please do not.
Flight Gymnasium and the Volusia Sports Center are both in the city of Holly Hill, and I'm quite proud of them. Thank you for bringing the one to the city. Both of them are very successful for our youth.
Mr. Varga, please. We need decorum here in these chambers. Please do not blurt out again. Thank you.
Mayor, I'm done. I think I've proven my point.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Daniel.
I just want to know, Katie, I saw something up there from ages 60 to 100. You got any 100-year-olds in there?
That's all I have to ask and say.
Good stuff. All right, excuse me, Mr. Vargas. So I'll just end this on a high note and say thank you very much to the YMCA. We appreciate your partnership. We appreciate all the children that you do serve in a partnership with the city of Holly Hill, and we are supportive of you. We're looking forward to the future and all the future plans and how we can together make it better for the entire community. And Tara, I know how hard you work, and she's right. You're best when you're in the water. So I know you get right in with the kiddos, and just appreciate everything you've done for us. So with that, we're going to go ahead, and unless there's any further comments, we're going to take a vote. We have a motion to approve the contract and a second. Motion made by Vice Mayor Penny, a second by Commissioner Curry. And we're going to go ahead and take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Yes. All right.
Thank you.
So now we're going to go back to items 2, 3, and 4. There are 3 resolutions, but we will vote on them separately. Is that correct, Mr. Simpson?
Yes, Mayor.
All right.
I'll read each one of them right now.
Perfect. Thank you.
Resolution number 2024-R-71. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, approving the State of Florida Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Planning, Designing, and Construction Agreement, DW 6410B0, designating the authorized representative, providing for capital funding, providing for assurances, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Resolution number 2024-R-72.
That's right.
That's right. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, approving the State of Florida Clean Water State Revolving Fund Planning, Design, and Construction Agreement, WW 6410A0, designating the authorized representative, providing for capital funding, providing for assurances, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. Resolution number 2024-R-73 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute a task order with Mead and Hunt, Inc. for engineering services for water plant improvements associated with the SAFI grant facility plan in the amount of $1,236,268.
$1,136,000.
It's been altered to.
Oh, it has?
Yeah, so anybody, you might have in yours $1,000,000.
It does say $1,100,000.
It's $1,236,268, providing for severability and providing for an effective.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Mr. Forte.
Yeah, I'm just making note of the typo in the dollars that Scott had corrected. Just want to make sure everybody is clear on that. But these 3 items are all related, so I'm going to ask Antoine and Brad Blaze from Mead Hunt to come up and do the presentation cumulatively on all 3 of these, and then you'll take a vote on them individually.
Thank you very much. The floor is yours, sir.
Good evening, Brad Blaze, Mead and Hunt. Thank you very much. As you may have remembered, there's various resolutions that were passed for the application for the supplemental appropriation for Hurricanes Fiona and Ian, for the water plant improvements, the wastewater plant improvements. All of that facility planning and all of the documentation had to be done very quickly and submitted. The drop dead date for everything is November 12th. So we're in good shape to meet all those. All of that documentation was approved by the DEP. It has now come back with the actual loan agreement. So the way these loan agreements will work is the DW, the drinking water loan, is for $11.3 million. Upon completion of the obligations that are within that for the design, the construction administration, and construction to meet the facility plan requirements, 100% of that will be forgiven. So you'll not have to pay back any of that loan. But it is structured as indeed a loan. It is reimbursed monthly per the terms of the agreement, and the agreement is structured by resolution. So any questions on that one?
Perfect. Any questions? Nope.
The next one is the wastewater, what they call clean water agreement, and that is for the improvements at the wastewater plant, and that is a $9.2 million,
9.3.
$9.3 million, excuse me. And again, that is to fund the additional work at the wastewater plant that was not already included within the ARPA funding. And these are resiliency improvements. These are construction of the additional BTU to provide capacity so that during peak flow events and storm events, we have the capacity to do the treatment and avoid overflows. So all of that will be handled in an identical manner. This is the actual loan agreement. It specifies the terms and conditions for the loan. That loan will be used to pay the contractor and the engineering for the various construction-related items. And then upon completion of those items, certification of completion, that loan will be forgiven, 100% not repaid, deemed complete. The next item is the engineering and the CEI costs that are contained within the scope of DW 6410. The amount in the contract was $800,000 for design services, $500,000 for CEI services, totaling 1.3. The amount actually incurred is approximately 1.236, so it is all 100% fundable through that program.
Great. Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Blaze? All right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate all your work on this. Thank you, Brad. All right. And now, with no questions, we'll open all three of these resolutions to the public. If anyone would like to come up and speak on any one of these resolutions, just please raise your hand. All right, seeing none, I'm going to close public participation on all three of these resolutions, but this commission is going to entertain them one by one. So the first one, which is number 2, Resolution 2024-R-71, I'll open the floor for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Curry and a second from Commissioner Danio. Any discussion needed? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Now, number 3, Resolution 2024-R-72. We already opened it up to public comment. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion for approval from Commissioner Danio, a second from Commissioner Curry. All those, any discussion needed? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Number 4 is Resolution 2024-R-73. We already opened it up for public comments. Nobody spoke. I'll open the floor for a motion for approval.
Motion.
And I'll second it, Mayor. Just, I want to make a note that the number was corrected.
Okay. So, and Commissioner Johnson, reflected in your motion is the correction of the dollar amount.
Yes, corrected.
It's in the record. Yep. Great. I just wanted to clarify that. We have a motion for approval from Commissioner Johnson, a second from Commissioner Curry. Thank you for the clarification.
Yes, sir.
Any discussion needed?
No.
All right, seeing none, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Brad. All right, number 6 is uncollectible utility account adjustments. Mr. Forte.
Mayor, the finance staff is requesting the commission approve the adjustment to the accumulated utilities uncollectible balances for all inactivated accounts that were terminated utility services over the 4 years old as of October 31st, 2024. Florida Statutes 95.11 limits the amount of time for action to recovering utility debt. None of the accounts are under the current property owner's names. Both internal and external collection efforts have been made on these accounts. If the account holder attempts to open future utilities within the city of Holly Hill, the city will require payments of those debts.
Thank you very much.
The amount of the debt that's requested to be released is $77,868.28.
Thank you very much, Mr. Forte. Are there any questions for staff? All right, at this time, we'll open this up to the public. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this item tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public participation, and I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion to approve from Commissioner Curry, a second from Commissioner, was it you? Danio?
Danio.
A second from Commissioner Danio. All those in favor signify, or any discussion first? No.
I just wanted to make sure, Joe, this is normal. We talked about
That's about the same each year?
Yeah, it fluctuates, but that's about the number that you're going to see.
Right, just for the record, yeah, that's all.
All right, with that, we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion carries unanimously. Now we're going to move to communications. Mr. Forte, do you have anything for us this evening?
Yeah, I just want to report to the commission that, Mayor, we had asked you to sign a letter going back to the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, removing Holly Hill from a lift station project from one of their funding sources, and that's because the project is actually being funded under the Tier 2 projects program right now. So it had come to the commission for approval. We went through the process, so because it's being funded through a different program, we had to withdraw from that. So just want to go on the record that we had requested that to be done.
And I
And
signed one tonight, too. That had to do with it as well, just for the record.
okay, same subject.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is all that I have for this evening.
Mr. Forte, can you update us in the community on the latest hurricane update?
Oh, yeah, sure. It looks like I gotta find out where I put it. It looks like the storm has, again, shifted a little bit to the west, taking us out of the cone of probability.
That's good.
Although the east coast of Florida is still in what's considered the tropical storm watch area, but not the warning area. All the warning areas are on the west coast of Florida, from as far south as the Keys, all the way up to the Big Bend and the Panhandle area. So we still anticipate in this area of getting somewhere between 2 and 4 inches of rain, some wind. Some of the bands from the storm will be coming across the state, having an impact in the Volusia County area, sometime probably on Thursday, early morning hours of Thursday. We have established a sandbag process over at Public Works that started today, and it ran through from noon to 6 o'clock, and we'll do it again tomorrow from 8 to 6. And then we'll keep the operation running on Thursday, weather permitted, and depending upon, what the demand is for the sandbags. That's
Great.
about it.
Thank you, and we are under a state of emergency through the
Yeah,
county.
they actually extended the state of emergency through Volusia County, which I was kind of surprised because the storm went the other way, but we were included in that, which just gives us an opportunity that if we do get a certain dollar amount in damages throughout the county, it would make us eligible for certain reimbursements from FEMA.
Yeah. Poor Edgewater, just going through hit after
my
hit
God.
on all kinds of different things, and hope they'll be okay down there. I know they're struggling, so I know that they would really have appreciated the grant that we just approved tonight to fix a lot of their systems. So very grateful that we had that. Thank you for that update. Any questions to the city manager about anything hurricane or emergency related? All right. Mr. Simpson, do you have anything for us?
No comments.
Mr. Assistant City Manager? No. Val? Mrs. Manning? No. All right, I have a few things. I'll be as brief as I can be. Just wanted to bring up the hurricane preparation. Also, looking forward to your golf tournament coming up, Vice Mayor. And hopefully. So keep going to the west, and we'll be good. And
Hopefully.
that'd be a great event, raising money for great cause for our police department and Kiwanis, and we appreciate what you're doing there. I don't know if I brought this up last time or not, but I was made aware of Celebrate Volusia Festival at the Ocean Center, which is going to take place Sunday, October 6th from 2 to 5 p.m. And it's to showcase Ocean Center's impact and the many wonderful aspects of life in Volusia County. They're going to have many different community assets that play a pivotal role throughout our county, and it's a free event for anyone to go out and to be there to discover county services that they may not know exist, and to speak with people. And they'll have beach safety out there, touch a truck event for the kids to learn about all of the major vehicles that take place that help protect us and clear our streets and whatnot. Police and EMT services, environmental efforts will have, they will have different cultural attractions and recreational activities for you to discover, all kinds of stuff. It's really just highlighting Volusia County through the Ocean Center and what the Ocean Center does for us. I think it's a good event that the county's putting on, and so I'll be supportive of that. Just wanted to bring that up. Also, on October 27th, the Holly Hill Market that happens down on the weekend down at LPGA Park, at Sunrise Park. They're doing wonderful. They're coming up on their 1 year already. I think it was October 22nd is their 1 year, which that's gone by really fast. But I've talked to several people that have attended and very, very much appreciated that. And so I appreciate the women that have come together to put that on and to do that for our community. But on October 27th, which is a Sunday, they're doing a Halloween-themed part. So they'll have bobbing for apples, and they're going to do a costume contest, I think, from 1 to 2 p.m. So if you have any children or grandchildren, bring them on out. I'm going to be there with my kiddos. Yeah. And sounds like a great event to get the community together, and I hope the community can support that as well. I also wanted to congratulate John Cox for all his work, but he already left tonight, but I told him this earlier. And then lastly, I just want to say thank you to our Chief of Police. You're doing a wonderful job, Chief. We really appreciate all the hard work you're doing. We're seeing it in the community. I'm seeing it every single day when I talk to my neighbors or run into someone at Publix. They always talk about you. And not only just in our community, but outside our community. You have a lot of fans out there, Chief, and your wife's in the back. Don't ever let him run for sheriff, but if he did, I'm sure he would have a lot of votes. So just stay here. Stay here. Chief. So, and I just want to congratulate again and welcome our new captain. Thank you so much for coming to us, and we pray on your term here and hope that you stay safe and that you can lead this department with our chief into just new prosperity. So thank you so much for coming, and we welcome you and wish you the best of luck. So with that, I'm going to turn it over tonight. We're going to start over on this end with Commissioner Johnson.
Well, first thing I'd like to do is Rick, I'd like to thank John Penny for encouraging Rick Hendricks to do a golf tournament. He said if John Penny can do it, he can do it. And he did his in a very short period of time. He raised $21 million for the kids' hospitals. So that was a good thing. But
what?
We're not going to raise it. $21 million in less than a week for his golf tournament. So
wow.
How much did you get, John?
Are you going to be over?
At $22 million. Last I heard was $22
I got a lot of money in the bank, but I might be making some refunds.
The Chief's kind of perking up out there.
Rick said if John
Make
can
it
do
work
it,
out.
Rick said if John can do it, he can do it. So, that, and tomorrow's a transportation meeting at the airport, and hopefully we can get some improvements on some roads in Florida, which we definitely need. I still think LPGA, I really believe LPGA is the fastest growing road, single road in the state of Florida right now. And I'll do whatever I can to improve LPGA. That's my #1 project right now because we need it so much, especially with the traffic for Pictona, and the new traffic is going to be for our beautiful new RV park up on Flowers, you know what I mean? Going to have that, it's going to be good. And the only other thing I have, well, the only one other thing I have is my grandson, his team had a state tournament in Boomba Stadium this last weekend. And I know he gets to practice a lot at the Volusia Sports Center, and his team and him both, but they played 5 consecutive games straight in a row.
Wow.
And they won the state championship by 36-5.
Wow. In baseball.
Close game.
Huh?
Close game.
Awesome.
36, I mean, they earned it. There was nothing given to him. My grandson got to play, he got to pitch the entire championship game at the last game for the championship. When the team he was playing against had already beat every other team except his. And he just shut them out. He let out of 7 innings, he put 5 people on base, and 3 of them was errors in the field. So he actually put like 2 people on base. In 7 innings, he did. I mean, he did. I was so proud of him and did a super, super good job of pitching on that deal and shut them down and all. And that was on championship game. And the thing about it is, he really does practice a lot. at that Volusia Sports Center. I think it helps him a lot, and most of his team members do too. And then when it, like before they opened up there, over half of their practices got rained out the year before that. And now they can always go there when they have bad weather in the practice and all. So I just can't praise Holly Hill enough for now we have four places. It's such great places for the kids to play and all. And that RV park up there is going to be super nice. I know that. I used to deal with the Bishops almost 50 years ago. I remember when Ms. Bishop's husband died, and she come to me and she was crying. She said, the one thing I've never been before in my life is a widow. She said, now I've got to be a widow. I said, well, don't worry, Ms. Bishop, I'll help you take care of the farm. So every other week I took my bush hog and I went over and I bush hogged it down for him, took care of it all, which was really something like 25 acres. And believe me, there's only one spot a little ways west of the railroad track, right out by Flomas, it's actually wetland. And I know, I bush hogged that thing for years, and I know. So we're really not hurting anybody by putting things on wetland, by putting those retention ponds and all of that. I think it's really going to help with the flooding in that area, you know what I mean, on that. So that's the main thing. That's all that I really have to say. But I mean, this was a great weekend for a baseball tournament. That's all I got to say. And our fourth player for John's thing is your buddy's kid, Ron John Erie's boy. He's going Dallas. He's going to play. He's going to play. Dallas's mom's playing and his dad's playing, so there's four playing in the tournament. You know. So Jason Neary is your fourth player for him.
Awesome. Thank you, Commissioner.
Yep.
And Joe reminded me, too, that a very important one, October 1st, which is Tuesday, will be National Night Out. Come support our police officers. It's going to be a great event for the kids. Bring your kids, grandkids, whatever you have, and make sure to support our police doing that. So look forward to that very much, Chief. And then also, to the Volusia League of Cities, I think we all got an email that is canceled this week due to the state of emergency.
It is canceled.
Yeah,
Yes. So I was going to ask.
And apparently they're not going to reschedule, so.
I know they canceled school, my wife's school.
Well, hey, you have the.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah, I was going to ask about the League of Cities, and then congratulations, Chief, and new captain, and the guys earlier for getting stabbed by their loved ones. Other than that, all I had was just a shout out to my 88-year-old mom. Today's her birthday.
Happened an hour ago.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Maybe in 12 years she'll be at the YMCA.
Yeah, hopefully. Commissioner Curry.
Thank you, Mayor. As we've spoke about before tonight, you kind of saw my very passionate side. I love this community, love this place more than anything. My husband retired from the police department here. We volunteered here with the Police Explorers. We've really put our heart and souls into this community, and when there's just constant lies after lies being said, you get to the point that you've had enough of people trying to bring your community down instead of trying to build it up. And I would think if there was a pastor that was actually a pastor of God that I believe in, that he would want to promote positivity in this community and not try to spread hatefulness and lies, but that's just my opinion. Also, let's see, I want to welcome you, Captain Ward, to our police department. I'm sorry that you're being greeted by a possible hurricane coming from New York. You're probably not used to that, but
True.
Get used to
it's not going to be bad this time, at least that's what they say. But welcome. Thank you for coming to our community, and we look forward to supporting our continual support of the police department. And I appreciate it. I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Mayor.
I was just going to report Volusia League of Cities has canceled the dinner. And Val's chiming over here. Well, are we getting a refund? Well,
How's that work?
Sure we will.
Michelle was thinking that too. So I believe the recommendation is going to be that you can get a refund if you want it, but they're encouraging people to attend the December meeting, which would be the next regularly scheduled meeting. I don't know where it is. I don't remember. So I'm just on the board. I can't remember everything. But anyhow, if you the golf tournament. up until 2 days ago, the golf tournament is still sold out. We had a few teams withdraw, but I had a waiting list, so still have 112 players. I've been paid by 90% of the sponsors and the participants. The problem is, will the weather cooperate? The hurricane's going away, and we're not going to have wind damage, but we're going to get some rain. And Riviera has been closed 6 out of the last 14 days because of rain. Not because it's raining when people play, but you can't drive the golf carts on the grass when it's mud. So I met with them today. There is no Plan B at this time. We won't make the call probably until midday on Friday. The hope is that the storm passes on Thursday night, and if we have a windy day on Friday, we can play on Saturday, but we won't know until midday on Friday to make that call. So the printing is all ordered. I have 13 dozen chocolate donuts coming and 10 gallons of coffee coming. I tried to stop it today. I don't know if I've stopped the order or not, but we may just have to make a contribution to the police department. Sorry, Chief. The fireman already left, you know, and tomorrow morning, 7:30 in the morning, there is a See You at the Pole thing. Some of the members of UBIC are coming, and kids from their school will come in, and they'll pray around the flagpole tomorrow morning at 7:30. So, pretty cool.
I'm glad you remember that. Thank you, yeah.
That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Vice Mayor, I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for attending here tonight. Is there any further business that's before the City Commission? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.
All right.